He went by many names: coworker, boss, friend, grandpa, dad, and husband. He was the one who showed us how to succeed, how to fail, how to enjoy life like it was truly a gift. He showed us that miracles can and do happen, and that hard work really does pay off. He gave us light when there was darkness. He gave us laugh when there was nothing but tears. He was born July 24th, 1949. His name was Clay Wilkinson. He had a younger brother, Dell, and an older sister, Gail. He had many adventures as a child, throughout his childhood rather, and had been led to art and the arts in a big way. A way in which defined his style for the remainder of his life. I never really could figure out which was the most important to him, whether it be drawing, sculpting, or his newest endeavor, designing wildlife furniture and clothing. He told me a story one time of a trip he took to Seattle around the time of the Mount St. Helens eruption. He explained that riding home on his motorcycle, it was crazy to see the ashes making it back to Colorado before he did. But looking back, that was just like Dad to be riding through the storm and be in total control. Dad's first marriage was to Carol, who they had a lovely daughter named Kristen, who turned out to be very artistic as well. Kristen became the third child of the family, the first being Douglas Fulton and Georgina Fulton. So his family had became even larger. Eventually he and Carol went their separate ways, but he then found the love of his life, Sandy Whitman. The first place Sandy and Dad lived was Boulder, Colorado. It was myself, Mom, Dad, Stephanie, as well as Kristen. This is where we designed, or had found, his desire to succeed. There was a certain way that things were to be completed, and that hard work is the only way to get ahead in life. He at times was indeed strict, but he also knew that we needed fun, and so he would be the funniest guy often in the room, making everybody laugh, giving, like I said, times where it was complete darkness, had everybody laughing. He was a constant in pushing us for better, and as we worked to better ourselves, he did the same. After a few years living in Boulder, Colorado, work took Sandy and Clay to Lakewood, Colorado. At this point in time, the Colorado market had been struggling, and he found a job offer in San Diego, California. Before he left, however, Douglas and George were off in college on the East Coast, and then each Christmas he would get all the family together. We'd make memories for years and years to come. Well, eventually the job was taken, and both Sandy and Clay moved to Southern California, where he took the job at Take a Break vending service. In the vending business, Dad found his true calling. He worked his way up, all the way up to vice president, where he eventually decided he wanted to work on his own. This, in turn, with the help of some coworkers, he created the Wilkinson Group. The Wilkinson Group became a very successful vending consulting business with clients all across the United States and worldwide. Well, he did this for quite some time, and then around 2002, 2003, we all decided to take a trip to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, which was great. Unfortunately, it was the last vacation that we all took together. But second, as we got home, we did find on a conference call that Dad had been diagnosed with idioma pulmonary fibrosis, IPF for short. Initially, he was given 2.7 years to live and would need a lung transplant to survive longer than that. Well, after 9 years of fighting a mostly uphill battle, it seemed as if life had brought it to a close. But as Dad had showed that you continue to better yourself and you work hard, he just wasn't going to give up. Well, not too much after that, a call was made and a lung transplant was on its way. So imagine that, 9 years after he was given 2.7 years to live, he is getting that lung transplant. So here he's showing that he overachieves time and time and time again. Excuse me. Well, we had a couple of years after that as he was able to travel, and he met his grandchildren on both the East Coast as well as the West Coast. However, in October of 2013, he was stricken with a cold, and eventually that cold turned into pneumonia and then into ARDS, which is acute respiratory stress syndrome. Here, we expected him to continue fighting, as he always had at being the overachiever. However, God had other plans, and so he was called back to heaven, and he's with the Lord now. The day we said goodbye, however, we had gotten a call from the hospital indicating that can we use Dad for a donor? And so with that being a gift that we were given, the answer was absolutely yes. Well, good news was a few days later, another call was received, and those donors, which were his corneas, were enabling 2 additional people to see. So what a beautiful thing that was, and how happy he would have been. Well, as I pointed out earlier, he has always pointed the most positive things in life, and so I'll bring this to an end with a quote that he has on his webpage, dated July 25th, 2012. Today is the second B-Day that I would not have had if I not had been blessed with, 18 months ago, a lung transplant. God bless my donor and his family, and God bless all my wonderful family and friends that were and are still so loving and supportive. It was a beautiful day, and it's a beautiful life. I love you, Clay Wilkinson.